That's not too annoying.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Church of the Tonepriest. Here we have on the bench a Crestline Gibson GA-5 Skylark. See, Crestline. No Gibson logo. I was going to say Gibson around here somewhere. Here we are. Gibson Electronics. Here we are. Gibson Electronics. Division of Gibson Inc. I'm reading this backwards through a viewfinder. Kind of a miracle. Anyway. Already started some work on this, as you can see. In the original video I did on this, see if I can get the lighting right here. Get the point. We got a Crestline Gibson GA-5T Skylark. Pretty neat. Coolest thing about this beast is these capacitors are completely empty. They're hollow. We're still waiting on smell-o-vision, so I guess touch-o-vision is out of the question, but these things are completely hollow. The capacitive goodness that was once inside there has dissolved into the ether. But yeah, dial that up on the Variac, see what happens. But it looks like it's been, well, so that'll be fun. Stay tuned for that one. You can see that somebody had already, let me grab Mr. Pointer here, had already started doing some service on this thing. There were a couple of those big blue beaver capacitors. And the way they were mounted, they were just like suspended in space, sort of like these guys are here. And the little cardboard carton was free, and it felt like they were completely hollow. But in fact, once I pulled them off, no, they're normal, and they're actually good capacitors, which is pretty incredible because they're, I don't know, 6 centuries old. So we'll put those into something more appropriate. Those are 60 microfarad capacitors, and whoever was working on this kind of, I don't know what they were thinking. They were not installed in the right place. Anyway, the tremolo, I had the tremolo working, and then it stopped working, so I'm trying to figure out what the story is with that. While messing around with this, I broke one of the tube sockets here, so I had to order some, and not a great fit. These 7 pins here, 7-pin sockets are a little bit tough to come upon. They're not, you know, the most common things in the world, and certainly this size and style are definitely not. So, don't have a perfect fit. I'm going to have to drill a few holes in here to mount this more modern socket. But this chassis, I don't have the cap for this chassis, so, and it's already been, you know, manhandled quite a bit, so keeping it pure and preserve its natural condition, you know, isn't so much as a priority as, you know, if it was in, you know, pristine condition. So we could have a little fun with this one. I'm gonna have a buddy of mine build a cab for this. I think I have a Gibson 12-inch speaker over in the other room that will go good with this. So usually I believe these have either 8s or 10s, 8s maybe. I think they usually come with an 8. So this will have a 12. So bigger is better, right?
Why did you get it so big?
Hey, that's what she said.
So here we are. Got to install this guy right here. I bought a new pot for this. So gonna install a new pot because I think the problem, I don't know, I suspect the problem with that pot because I did replace all the capacitors for the tremolo circuit and it still wasn't working. Or it could just be the tube. Who knows? We'll figure it out. You know, as I've said 1,000 times, or at least once or twice before, at the Church of the Tonepriest, we don't build using science. We build by faith, and when we're done, we pray to God that it all works. So stay tuned for that. Here we go. What you looking at? Huh? What you looking at? You guarding the Muslim church? You should charge them for all this diligent security you provide them. Oh, nap time. Okie doke. So we got the new vacuum tube socket all wired up. Yeah, I'll address the wires later once it's working, if it's ever working. Just wasted about a half an hour looking for the tubes for this thing. I have no idea where to put them, but fortunately I have substitutes. I had an all RCA tube set for this, vintage goodness. But we got a couple of 6 AQ5s, I got a GE and a Sylvania. Yeah, those will work. Looks like the branding came off the glass on these two, but I think those are RCAs. And we got our, what is it, 6X4? Yeah, 6X4 rectifier tube, and it's an RCA, so.
Whatever its size, age, or model, remember this: it's only as good as the tubes inside it.
So I'm going to get those plugged in, and we'll see if the new socket works. Uh-oh, this is no good. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a crack in the base of this, which one is this? Sylvania, the GE, I think.
You gonna play games, man? Hey, I'm fucking somebody else. Hey!
So I guess I got to search the church for the other tubes, because yeah, this ain't gonna work well. Hang tight. All right, so I checked my purchase history of all my tubes, and it turns out I only did buy one set of 6 AQ5s. I thought I bought two. That was the BQ5s for the other Gibson we're working on. So I don't know if this was always like that, but I'll have to buy a couple more tubes. But in the meantime, we're just gonna damn the torpedoes and see what happens, because it was working before. So, you know, what's the worst that can happen?
I thought I could share my artistic side with you.
Get the fire department on speed dial, so we're all good. So, hang tight. Here we are, we're dialing up the old Variac. The tube hasn't exploded. No flames yet. Current looks good. We're only at 47 volts coming from the wall. Little under 4 watts. Yeah, we all look normal here. I think we'll be okay. Hang in there, little Gibson Skylark tremolo, till we can get you some good tubes. Alright, we got it dialed up to 85 watts. The tube filaments are filamenting. This is a moment of truth. Yep, she works. I don't think that, pardon me, I don't think the crack in the tube goes all the way through the glass. I couldn't feel it with my fingernail.
Did you see this shit?
But, yeah, it'll definitely have to be replaced, and hopefully she hangs in there while we're waiting for the new tube to show up. But we're going to continue on. Looks like I installed the tube socket correctly, wired it all up properly, so we're going to move on to the tremolo, which, as you can hear, or actually not hear, it's not tremoloing. So that'll be next. We'll try with the knob. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We always do, sometimes. Got her dialed up to 120 volts, and I gotta say, this little amp just sounds awesome. I mean, even with this crappy square back just out on the bench here, I got her, got the volume turned up to whatever that is. It's probably like 8. But check this out. It just sounds incredible. I mean, it makes even me almost sound like a legitimate guitar player. See? So we got a nice new knob on there. It's real smooth. Unfortunately, the tremolo is still not working. So, where is it? There you are. Yeah, it's too bad. So we're just gonna have to break out the multimeter and do it the hard way. So, wish me luck. Alright, so one potential issue we have here is we have 235 volts coming off the filter cap. Goes through this 470k resistor, and that's supposed to drop it down to 110. I'm measuring like 222, something like that, but I'm getting 213 here, so it's only dropping 9 volts. I don't know if this is the source of the problem, but it ain't right.
That's not right.
So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna bump this up and get this down to in the neighborhood of where it, you know, Gibson says it's supposed to be, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I've been substituting in dropping resistors. I've got a 1 meg in there now, and the schematic calls for, what does the schematic call for? 470, so we're more than double. And it's just not dropping nearly enough voltage to get that down to like 110. So I don't know what the story is with that, but we're still not getting any tremolo. I replaced all the original disc capacitors. There's with 0.01s. Schematic calls for the first one to be a 0.01 and then the second two to be 0.02. I did order some 0.02s. I got those in stock, so let me try that and see what happens.
3 weeks later.
Alright, so I replaced the 0.01s that I had in these two positions, and there's no change. But something is really not adding up here. So we come out of the filter cap at, you know, around, I think it's like 220 volts. If we follow this section, we go through a 22k resistor and a 100k resistor, so we have 122k, and that drops us down 161 volts. Alright, so that's 122, like 3 to 4 times more resistance, and it's only dropping us by, like, actually I got a 1 meg in there right now, substituted, and it's only dropping by like 10-15 volts. This has got to be getting juice from somewhere else. And it all appears to be wired correctly. I've checked it like 6 dozen times. So probably what I should have done the first time is check the tube. So I'll swap these tubes out. There's two 6EU7s and see if that changes anything. So it's just very strange. It takes several seconds for it to fire up. I don't know, something still doesn't seem quite right to me. I'm still going to mess around with it, but it is working, you know. That's interesting. So if I turn the rate knob all the way up, it seems to go away for a little while. So I think maybe there's maybe a little too much resistance in the circuit. I don't know enough about tremolo circuits to really make an informed assumptions, but it is working. think I'm going to end this video here. The wife's on her way home with the groceries. I'm going to have to help her out. But I'm going to do a little more research into the tremolo circuit. Let me get Mr. Pointer out. I'm going to, if I can get that all sorted out, then I'm going to, you know, obviously dress up all the wires and bolt all this crap down, you know, make it roadworthy. I got a buddy at work that's going to make a cabinet for this. If the 12-inch Gibson speaker that I have is no good, I thought the voice coil was rubbing, but I'll throw it in real quick and test it out. If that doesn't work, then I'll probably, I have a couple of 10-inch, I have an Eminence something or other, I think a red, white, and blues, and a Jensen C10. Test both of those out once the cab's all put together, and see how they sound, and you know, we'll have a unique Gibson GA-5 Skylark Crestline series. Be better than the original. Just leave it to the tonepriest. So until the next time, keep on rocking in the free world. Winona may have a big brown beaver, but the tonepriest has a big blue beaver.
Done.